This is wild. We stopped SEO over 2 years ago, and check out these inquiry numbers. Let me quickly find it. Where is it? Here we go. So for 12 months of SEO, total inquiry numbers was 3,570. The SEO campaigns we stopped over 2 years ago. And the last few months, so this is current months, 2024, August, I gotta stop walking. September, 157 inquiries. August, 121. July, 118. June, 109. It's ramping up. May, 114. April, 154. March, 136. I gotta stop walking. February, 98. January, 103. The numbers begin to drop off after that. So essentially, what we're looking at is a client came to us in 2020, tree removal, arborist campaign, and a campaign that I'm pretty comfortable with, so Google Ads, SEO, and I showed him a few of our Melbourne and Sydney campaigns, right? And I said, okay, this is how much they cost, these are the results, and he's like, yep, let's go ahead. And so he wasn't in a major city, right? So we applied cost of entry calculations on how many links we need, how many blogs we need, how many website pages we need, what kind of website we need to build, that we would normally apply on a dense Melbourne or Sydney website. We applied it on a site in a non-major city. And within 12 months, so we're running Google Ads as well. We started to get, hey, we needed to dial down the Google Ads. We turned the Google Ads off and said, okay, we've got an issue now with the recruitment. We've got all these jobs coming in, but we need to now run Google Ads for employment. And so we ended up having to create job and careers sections of the site that then we ranked and then ran separate Google Ads for. But the moral of the story is we applied 12 months of SEO backlinks, blogs, SEO sculpting work. It's showing you when you do rank on Google, when Google loves your site more than the rest of them, you can absolutely just coast on that. That's why I always say the difference between SEO and Google Ads is Google Ads or Facebook Ads is a rental strategy. You stop paying, you stop getting the leads, you stop getting the inquiries, and SEO is the ownership strategy. But it's like paying off a mortgage, right? It'll be much more upfront. Got to have the deposit. Got to pay crazy taxes, right? But it's the ownership strategy. I can't say the same story will apply. I'd love to say that it would in a dense area of Melbourne or Sydney or Brisbane, where you have constant competitors that are gunning for that space, that are always working on their asset. But what we basically did, we built an asset that it's still dominating, and I'll try to get a screenshot of the traffic graph, that it's just still skyrocketing 2 years later. Obviously we upkeep the site, we keep things updated, we refresh some of the content, so we're still actively chipping away at things and fixing things up and make sure the hosting and the plugins are updated, but we're not performing active SEO and building on the asset or sculpting on the asset further. So such an awesome thing to look at, and I've got plenty of sites like that we get them to a stage where now the business is overloaded with leads, too many leads. Now they have other problems. It's recruitment problems. I can't even speak. It's problems with their systems and operating systems and procedures. And so what we did with this is a 4-year-old campaign 4 years ago. The core of it is still the same. We had a look at the competitors. We had a look at their pages. We had a look at the pages that an arborist should have, all of the pages on that site that they need, and we built them out. We then, now in this area, I think there were only 300 suburbs in that particular city, whereas in Melbourne we build more. So it's a smaller city with less population, so we were able to rank much quicker. So we still built, I think when I logged into the site last time, there was 420 pages. Now some of those pages might be geo pages, suburb pages, others might be like service pages, like stump removal, tree removal. Each service gets its own page. And then to juice that up, we built 100 long-form guide-like blogs. Something I must sound like a broken record talking about my blogs, but we researched the shit out of the content, of valuable content on the topic of stump removal, when you should remove stump, etc. We then internally linked those pieces of content together, like a content silo, reverse silo, whatever you want to call it. Then we sent a lot of backlinks to both the main pages, but mostly the blog pages. So Google sees this asset going up of these long form guide-like pieces of content delivering value. Then it sees other websites in the world mentioning those pieces of content. So it's, wow, this website's very trustworthy. And up it goes. And we actually had a huge dip in traffic when the Google helpful content update was released. And I was like, okay, we're starting to hit this point where we might need some, like another 6-month SEO boost just to get that needle up. But what was interesting was, yes, we lost a lot of blog traffic, but the inquiries started to go up. So what that was telling us is the pages that mattered still ranked really well, which were the service pages. Overall traffic began to dip. What's really crazy about this experiment is I was about to pull the needle, push the trigger and have all the blogs rewritten, but we didn't. We left them as they are, and Google went back on their algorithm, and now the traffic is more than quadrupled what it was at its previous peak. I love this. I love having so many sites that are essentially experiments, and we can see how Google makes decisions. So when another arborist or a tradie or a campaign in a similar niche contacts us, we know exactly what needs to happen. So look, as always, the first thing that went up was a Google Ads landing page. This website was getting 0 inquiries from Google. A very established business, however. They've been around a while. The domain was quite aged. No traffic from Google at all, no local rankings. Google Maps wasn't optimized. So landing page, Google Ads was delivering a whole bunch of leads. And then within 6 or 7 months, once the service pages and the geo pages began to marinate, they began to get leads. And then we began to dial the Google ad further down. Awesome result, and hopefully demonstrates the power of SEO when it's done right. In this case, I don't want to say we underestimated, no, we overestimated, and we over-delivered on things, on links, on blogs. In other words, at a reduced budget. So if the SEO was cheaper, it just means it may have taken us 2 years to achieve the same result. So it would have been much cheaper for the business, but it would have taken longer. There is always, it's really sometimes hard to calculate because a lot of stuff in SEO is hidden. A lot of SEOs will hide the type of links that they're building. They'll hide the assets. You have things like PBNs and unknowns. So it's always hard to estimate, okay, if we double the spend, is it going to speed up by how much? So there's always an element of, it's hard to calculate that. There's so much unknown. But there are general figures of, I know generally speaking, if an accountant contacts me and they are in this suburb, based on the other suburbs, I know how long it's going to take, and I know the cost of entry to market. So in this case, it worked out in our favors. I really get upset when I calculate in the other direction and that I underestimate how long it's going to take. And that way, yeah, sometimes it's not always happy days.